$50 right now, Samoa.
I'm not reading.
Because even if you didn't lose,
You
got enough value and entertainment out of this that you owe probably everybody in the room $50. You keep talking to you. You need to pay anything to give Nathan 50, you should give Knowledge 50, you should give Mike 25.
I can't even hear.
I think there should be a penalty. I don't think it should be more.
I didn't say that.
You should pay to beg the White House shillings and $50.
The knowledge.
No, I didn't say that.
Knowledge. I got a question for
There we
knowledge.
go. Okay, look.
Knowledge. Hold on, I have a question for knowledge. Knowledge. When I wrote in the chat, I said, hey, Samoa, you should ask Ethan, since he asked 3 philosophers, if it was a straw man or if it was a fallacy. Ethan, were you on stage just about 10, 15 minutes ago?
I'll tell you why Ethan was on stage, because Rich said that right after I made a statement, which was that's 3 philosophers now that agree with Nathan.
And Ethan was right below him, and I said, hey, Samoa, why don't you ask Ethan if it's a fallacy?
And who thinks this fucking name is Ethan?
I had no fucking idea. You're the one that just doxed me.
No one.
You doxed Samoa by saying his name.
Oh my God.
I had no idea.
Get back to the other point, please. This is boring.
God, Dots. You're an idiot. You doxed him.
No,
I
it's
had no idea. Now I know his name's Ethan.
Fucking Samoa.
I had no idea. I swear on my kids' lives.
No, you didn't. You
I just found out. I literally said, hey, Samoa, why don't you ask Ethan if it's a fallacy?
Did Ethan answer?
No, because he left. And then Dawn started saying that I was doxing Samoa, even though I never knew Samoa's name was Ethan.
I don't know
She
what
doxed him.
fucking name is.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying his name. I was like, damn, you're doxing. You didn't.
You're a fucking dog.
Okay, it was a mistake.
Okay, yeah, I just want to know, because I'm worried, are your hips okay? Like, is your hip okay? Are you good?
I am going to need 2 or 3 days of stretching, but I'm going to make a recovery.
Proud of you, friend.
Brother,
Love you.
No, me and my wife, my in-laws took the kids for the weekend, and me and my wife went away for the weekend, and we pretended like we were 20.
If it would please the bell pepper gods, can I please enter into fisticuffs with Ethan on Catholicism being
Yeah, Dawn stopped drinking.
Well, concrete. Okay, one mic. I'm sorry, one mic on concrete.
I pull my hammy.
No.
Okay,
One mic on
that's a
concrete.
thruster, you're right.
Ethan, I challenge you to a informal, linguistic, sarcastic debate on the legitimacy of Catholicism and apostolic succession.
Correct. If you missed it, everybody's agreeing with Nathan that it wasn't a straw man.
My joke is better, sir.
I've actually been on that tip from the beginning as well.
No pause on the tip, huh? No pause.
Oh my God. Guys, I just had a very heterosexual weekend.
Gentleman does not lay with a woman and tell tales.
But can we seriously get over it? I'm fucking over it. Samoa, just let him take. Not acknowledging him will give him the L.
So, it looks like concrete is trying to.
No, not acknowledge the argument. It's done. He lost.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. It looks like concrete is trying to get the conversation.
Yes, I am desirous to engage in intellectual fisticuffs with young Ethan on Catholicism and its many erroneous,
Can you just let me?
dubious
No, Frank. Not right now, Frank.
What I wanted.
No. Okay, so,
No.
Andrew, no. Stop it.
Shut up.
Trump.
Shut
Trump.
Shut up, White. Shut up, White.
Kidding.
Yes, you should be kidding. Okay, so.
Wait, what? Frank kids? What? I thought that was Frank.
Yes.
You thought he was full retard?
No, so Andrew put in the chat, Mrs. Ethan is on stage, and I know, like, I was thinking maybe it's like Io's account where sometimes it's him, sometimes it's his wife. So maybe you're not gonna get to touch now. Yeah.
Just a quick point of order, though. Are we being recorded or not? I couldn't tell. Like right now. Like we're being recorded right now.
Dude, when B-Master's in here, we might be.
Wait, is B-Master in here? I can't even...
I don't think we're being recorded.
Yes, he's right there.
But B-Master,
So,
why?
Allegedly, if B-Master's in here, or Monica's in here, or if the
It's fucking lame, guys.
Or your
Just for the record, we are indeed being recorded, and it's not me. We are 100% currently being streamed, and it is not.
The comedian is down in the audience. So
yeah, but hold on. Allegedly, also Beam was recording. Allegedly, Monica's recording, and I'm gonna throw up an allegation. I think Antrikis is also.
Chillism, oh chillism, my favorite collection of retards I've collected. Welcome to Dinner for Schmucks. It's called chillism.
He said nudity. No one can stand the nudity.
Damn, they kicked that one too. Who's next? Assalamu alaikum.
Lenny says that I get down all the women in the world.
Another religion. Yeah, not just women's, but for submissive, exclusive wives.
Yeah, exactly. What's better than that, bro? That's paradise.
No, listen, 4 wives makes no sense. But when he says that you get to have 4 wives, you get to have 11 wives, he's being a little trickster. He's like, I get more wives than you.
Hey, listen, bro. We don't talk about our prophet, okay? Don't talk about our prophet. Otherwise.
Wait, don't talk about it? So wait, you might say he's the prophet of Islam to be talking about?
No, I mean, look, we have standards, we have laws, you cannot insult our prophet. Period.
But our prophet is public figure, just like Trump. You were insulting Trump now, and no one goes back.
There's no. Okay. Well, the West. The problem of the West. The so-called freedom of speech.
Too many Muslims.
You can insult whomever you want to insult. You can act however you act. No, bro. We have parameters.
Yeah, leave the West.
In our religion.
You're not.
Yeah,
you don't belong here.
We have
Get out of America. You do not belong in America. You should go back to the desert.
Shut the hell up.
You don't belong in America. You're not an American. You're not a patriot. Hey, you're a fucking Mohammed. Go live in Iran or some shit.
I'm in the middle of fucking American conservatism, and we get along just fine.
No. We hate American. Okay. You're not an American. That's American free speech. You're a fucking fake American. Get the fuck out of here.
Shut the hell up.
You don't belong in America. Go move to the Middle East.
What we're against is fucking gays and trans.
Turn on Western culture, bro. Get the fuck out of the West.
You know that you are a woman.
Yeah.
You know Muhammad said Muhammad said that God said that kids shouldn't show
You know that you are a woman.
Muhammad said don't show
I'm a woman
for dinner. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When
I'm out of here.
When Muhammad said don't show my
Yeah, you are a woman.
Yeah, these are fucking.
If you are a man, why do you have nipples?
First of all, you sound like, I don't know, Phoenix, you sound like.
I get my pussy there.
If you are a man, why do you have nipples?
Something's off.
No, it's off. You being in America. You should be in the Middle East. That's off.
Hey, we'll absolutely eliminate mental.
No, just go back to the Middle East. Make a Muslim paradise there. In America, it's the land of freedom. We're free here. Free speech, freedom of association. Yeah, we are free.
Sam, I gotta
America, dude. You don't belong in America, dude.
Sam, I gotta ask you a question. When was the last time you went to the gym and read a book?
I'm Texan.
Congrats on your 3,000 people on Clown House, Sam.
You don't belong in America, dude. You don't care about values. You don't have American values.
What
You have
values? I share
the Muslim values. You don't give a fuck about Jefferson or Washington or Adams. You don't care about American values. You just you want to invade our country and fucking live on our welfare.
That person in Washington is not American values. They're people in history. They're not American. People are not values.
American values are about freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of association. Those are foundational American values.
But yeah, you cannot sit and criticize Israel. You're deported. You can't say anything negative about Israel.
I'm in America. Fuck Israel. I can say it. Fuck Israel. I'm in America. I can scream that from the top of my lungs.
I'm fucking American.
Yeah. You're Jewish. It's privilege to say that, Sam. But if there's a protester who says that, what happens to that? What happened to the Irish band at Coachella just the other day, right?
Straight men are crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
These are freaking former Muslims, gays.
Walaikum assalam.
No. Think about it. Straight men are crazy.
I mean, have you guys even read Sam's document? I created a YouTube video about it, and I got to tell you, until you Muslims on this app debate Sam's document, Sam technically is the keeper of, the documentation. So congratulations, Sam.
It's a weak document.
Dean, you sound like Patrick Bateman, Dean. Just go ahead and debate the document. Thank you very little. We'll call you. Don't call us terrorists. Bye.
Is it translated to Arabic?
No. Phoenix, you gotta help me out with that. You gotta help me.
I skimmed through it, and as soon as I see scientific error, it was just buzzkiller.
So I was like denied access to so many things. Why? They said it was my parents.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, what's up? Hey, Islam has been falsified by my document.
I will read it then. If you read my Arabic criticism of atheism, of course.
You're not even fucking Jew. You're fucking Eastern European gypsy. Okay.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Love each other.
Yeah. Why do you have nipples?
I checked.
Why do you have nipples, AR?
Where's your nipples? Why is your nipples, bro?
Do you produce milk, AR?
Hey, this room is freaking weird. I've never seen fucking.
No, it is a valid question. Why do you have nipples?
Explain your nipples.
We have the weirdest. He's so happy living in Texas. What's weird?
Phoenix. Remember one thing. If you keep on asking that same question, everything's gonna go tits up. Please.
I want to know the answer. Why men have nipples?
You're overly milking that argument. I suggest you look at yourself in the mirror tomorrow and ask yourself deeply, why? Just why do I have them?
Don't cry with spilled milk.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm a friend with my feminine side, so it doesn't matter.
Sorry, Dr. D.
Oh, this ain't Tam this year. I think you wanted to. Do you want to speak Tam?
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيفك حالك؟
Tam, what is on your mind today?
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is on my mind.
Alhamdulillah. You're the best man ever to walk the earth.
Now can you tell us what's really on your mind, all those disgusting things, Tom? Go on.
I mean, what would Muhammad have said about October 7th? I mean, would he have been like, yeah, go in there, go to that concert, kill all those people, rape all those people, take all this hostage? It's a great idea. It's a perfect war strategy. Is that what Muhammad would have told the people in the Gaza Strip on October 6th or the 5th, the 4th, like before, when they were doing all their final preparations for the assault? Like, what do you think they were talking about privately? Thank you very little, Dr. Phoenix. Go back to selling books in Mecca. Malaikum assalam. I am complete.
Prophet Muhammad versus
Think of here. Let's go.
There's no first of all. October 7th, people
Yeah, going to buy.
October 7th. Israel's been terrorizing Palestinians, stealing their land. Clearly, rape, propaganda, beheaded babies, all been debunked. All right, actually, we have proof, even video proof of Palestinians getting raped by Israelis. Israelis have been treating non-Jews, differently than Jews are. They've been, genociding anybody who's a Palestinian. All right, they're under threat. Starving, personal starvation, all that. So do you think the Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Abraham would approve of that? Prophet Moses, right? Prophet David? No.
Maybe Pharaoh. The comedian. Did you actually do a YouTube video on my document, bro?
Yeah, I screenshotted your document and then I made it into a short on YouTube. Yeah, let me find the link. Hold on.
Didn't Pharaoh like to kill babies, especially male babies?
Wow.
It's certainly right.
Wow, Netanyahu, Pharaoh Netanyahu, wow.
Yeah, think about it like God split the sea just to save the people of Israel from the terror, and I think He's going to split the sea for the people of Gaza to run away from the genocide.
Yeah, Dean, quick question about Islam. When Muhammad says, when the Quran says, don't show up early to the Prophet's house for dinner, do you think that's timeless wisdom that we need to know? Is that important enough to be in the Quran?
So the Quran, there's things that are timeless. There's things that pertain to certain events. Like, for example, the slander of Aisha was a temporary event. But the principle, a temporal event. But
There's a moral.
There's a moral being taught there. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't show up. No small talk. Eat your meal. Just get out of here. Also, don't date my wives after I die.
What do you think? Do you think Jews and Muslims and Christians can agree on angels? Isn't that kind of ridiculous? But basically, I'm talking about a perfect 10. Everybody knows an angel when they see one. And an angel's always a perfect 10. So whether you're a Jew or a Muslim or a Christian, Michael, Raphael, whatever angel you prefer, that's at least one thing these three religious groups can agree on. Am I correct? Thank you for consideration.
Nothing. Comedian has a skill at just saying nothing.
Is that what?
It is scenic that thinks pedophilia is okay.
Not scenic. Scenic is different. He's cynic.
People are just strong over and over. Like, I love that's it. No, that's not the case at all. I'm just not willing to call people who did allow Asians at certain periods in human history pedophiles or immoral, that's all. Because I'm not a retard. I'm not going to commit a fallacy of presentism and judge people throughout the human history based on modern day standards. I'm just not a retard. I can't do it. No, there's something wrong with this. You're a faggot. There should be something timeless about the message, you know what I mean? He wasn't a man of his... The prophet wasn't just a man of his time. He's a man for all time, it seems. No, he's a man in his time dealing with his conditions, providing you a template where you can extract moral principles based on his life. That's all. But you don't have to live like Prophet Muhammad lived.
Why do you make an all or nothing statement that Muhammad was the most moral man who's ever lived and therefore he is the embodiment of what people should emulate? It's so ridiculous. It's fucking laughable. It's so amateur. It's so pathetic. It's so weak and stupid. It's like avoiding books altogether and never actually using additional information. It's an all or nothing statement that somebody with cognitive distortion disorder will project. And as a mirror, I'm just reflecting back what I believe that I'm hearing from Dr. Cynic. I am complete. Thank you for consideration.
It's a deflection. It's completely like.
How can you
We're
call
talking
Genghis
about
Khan a murderer?
We're talking about
How can
Palestine.
you
And
call
then you want to
Genghis
talk
Khan?
about Islam.
No, but
It seems to
cynic.
me like there's some sort of anti-Semitism bundle.
No, but
that's
cynic.
happening.
How could you?
I'm
How
talking
could you
about
criticize?
the real anti-Semitism, not that bullshit that white people like to fool themselves with.
Right. How could you say of Genghis Khan that he was just this brutal beast of a man?
Well, Dr. Issa, welcome to the Islamic Caliphate here in Clown House. You are an honored and welcome guest here in the Caliphate. Welcome. How are you, Dr. Issa?
Look, the prophet is.
I am listening to a room full of numbskulls here on Clown House, wasting all their time talking about nothing as usual. What are you doing?
But that's what we do.
I know it is supposedly the point, but you know.
You didn't come to my room today.
I was blocked.
Oh shit.
Someone
Did
doesn't.
you try all the other accounts?
Not enough counts anymore. I am so heavily blocked. Some people really want to block me. It's unbelievable.
It was a good room.
Bima called me out in chillism, and they keep kicking me from the chillism room. I don't understand. Don't they want publicity for all their high-value, intelligent information that they're sharing with the public? Welcome, Dr. Bima.
My bad.
You need to change again all your names.
They're fucking bitches. Yeah, you gotta change names again. They're fucking little bitches. They're cocksucking bitches. But I support what you do. Keep recording these fucking people. Hold them accountable for shit. Yeah, my bad. But I sorry, I got under fire for people thought that I was recording. So yeah, I had to, I do what I had to do. My bad.
Well, you need to open new accounts, Edmund.
I know it's time because, you know, when I register a YouTube account, I have to have an active telephone number, and my telephone number is about to expire, so it's time for a new burner.
What accent is this? Is this mine?
No, I recently converted to Mexican, and I have joined the Republic de Mexico. Yo hablo español, tú prefiero, pero yo hablo inglés, you know, if tú prefieres.
Well, today the room was good. It was the room against Simon, but even the Bitcoiners came in and they were bashing Simon too. It was amazing.
Yeah, it can't feel good for him to like have to vigorously defend himself. I mean, but you know, that's how he creates his dopamine.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a smart guy. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, I mean, people are smart in different ways, and some people, I think everything really just deals with like the size of the database that you're working with, which is essentially saying that your brain, you know, in terms of communication, it all just depends on how large your language, data set is that you're working with.
Yeah.
I mean, you speak multiple languages. That means you have like, you know, pretty large language system. But, you know, you are at least, you like to laugh. I don't think Simon likes to laugh enough. If you like to laugh, I think that shows like a healthy personality.
Yeah, I don't take it seriously, definitely. I mean, sometimes I get triggered, but of course, you know, but like, I don't care.
You know, also Muhammad was the #1 stand-up comic of all time. He was the best comic, the funniest comic, the best comedian. He was the best at everything. And Muhammad was the best comedian. To prove me wrong that he wasn't a comic. He was a comedian.
No, we don't actually make the claim that he's the best at everything. So
United Arabic thing.
Is that cynic?
Yeah.
But that he
Sam's
was
playing
great,
music now.
regardless of
Assalamu alaikum.
that's what makes
Muhammad touched me when I was just 4 years old. I became 6 to 7 tours before me. My name is Aisha. Touched me when I was just a little tall lady. Mommy was my daddy. Mama said that was
Can you tell Cynic that Issa thinks he's hot?
Hey, Cynic, Issa, the Guatemalan watermelon in Switzerland thinks that you're a beautiful man, Cynic. A lot of women like your look.
for leaving, but I mean, I would have just drop.
You don't go to the gym though. You're always on here debating. So why do women find you attractive, Cynic?
I would crush you, and you know it.
He's a crusher, ladies and gentlemen. This man is a crusher.
Of your chest.
A warrior of Islam, a crusher. Issa, go ahead. Cynic can hear you. Issa wants to tell you something, Cynic.
Cynic, you're so hot.
Semi-active. Oh, Ahmed. He's a real traitor. And recorded that. Who was a slaver. Do you have that as a soundbite?
No, Issa's in my room, Islamic Caliphate.
Don't quit your daytime job, dude.
Don't quit your day job. Just keep going to Clown House. Eventually, they're going to have a royalties program, and all your amazing rooms with all your incredible content will get monetized, and you'll make a percentage profit.
Well, who's projecting now? I think you are. I mean, that's your dream, isn't it? Mohammedan sexual slaves.
Ooh, we also raped a child. He was not the most moral man that people think he was. He was a warlord mystic, and he stole from the Bible and killed a lot of people. And now he's enslaved 1 billion people with the mind virus.
He's a fucking warlord like Genghis Khan. And you worship a monster. Everybody who is pretty much a figure of history in medieval time is some sort of strategist or war commander.
Liberaciones. You know, all these religions deal with liberation, and Muhammad is no different, but he did it with the sword and the wand. You know, you don't want to kill too many people as you try to free them, because when you kill them, you don't free them, you kill them.
It's true.
You can't kill the people that you want to free.
He had sex with Maria, the cop, who was his. So what?
Well, they killed him, but they keep reproducing. So
what? You think a concubine was like, oh, I don't want to engage in sexual activity? I'm sure they had so much choice in the matter.
Feliz cumpleaños, Isa.
I understand, like, being a concubine.
Oh, thank you.
Like a privilege. No, it was a slave, bro. She was a slave.
Happy birthday to Isa. Happy birthday to Isa. Happy birthday, dear Isa. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
What's your clubhouse boyfriend's first name? What's your clubhouse boyfriend's first name? What's your boyfriend's first name on Clown House right now?
Do you want to know my clubhouse boyfriend's name now?
Sí, señorita. ¿Qué es tu nombre de tu boyfriend?
I cannot say. It's Edmund.
Ooh!
And false theologies and brought about an expansion that
I think I might be spoken for.
China to Morocco. That's who I'm talking about. Who brought legal law and brought clear standards that we apply today, like a jury.
Jurisprudence. Welcome back to the Islamic Jurisprudence Show, starring Cynic, the laptop repairman.
You don't know how influential Islam was.
What's the name of the room?
It's called Being Qua Being.
I'm so jealous of him.
We brought in I'm not jealous. First, you're dealing with a man who ushered in the first scientific era.
He was a genius of science.
You think you can hold a match?
He invented the microscope and discovered DNA, as well as atomic physics. He was the best moralist, the best comedian. He was the best at everything. God bless Muhammad, he was the best. The #1 guy of all time. He ushered in the world of science, my friends.
Not just science.
Intelligence. Like, all the Muslims are so smart. They all are highly intelligent people. They use the Quran to increase their IQ to become super geniuses on Earth so they can build things like war engines.
We actually have the only theology that can actually withstand modern times criticism and science and philosophy.
Isa, welcome to the room. Being Qua Being with Dr. Cynic, who is a Mohammedan. He loves Muhammad and the Quran, the glorious Quran. Welcome to the Islamic Caliphate room, Isa.
Because Christianity is not compatible.
Why are
But
you not
it's fine.
following me, hot Muslim? Did you get
Oh,
kicked
Isa.
again?
I was like, he just played a recording of him.
Did you get kicked again?
Kicked. You mean
my account.
He doesn't have a party hat. This is like the longest one ever. He's been here 31 days. Congratulations, Dr. Cynic, on getting out from party hat status.
Yep. And I'll still be better known than you, comedian, on this app.
That's projection.
That is absolutely true.
That's just projection.
Who the fuck is a
No, he's gonna be on the do not fly list. That's not the kind of notoriety you want, you stupid moron.
Maybe call me back for fucking
And then people drop comedian or kick him out. Usually he doesn't even last on stage 10 seconds.
Unlike you, until you fucking, cook
But
off.
comedian doesn't even have anything to say. Like,
Yeah,
he
that's true. You gotta
literally
work on that.
Honestly, I wish he would just give us 30 seconds of a serious conversation. You will find that this
You're
guy has no substance whatsoever.
projecting. Is it illegal to kill people on terrorist raid operations conducted from Islamic jihadist strongholds? No, it's not. It's against the law. When you kill someone, that is a violation of the law and justice must proceed. So how do you explain October 7th?
Strategy. October 7th.
Strategy, military terrorist strategy, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of moron you're dealing with here. Cynic, that's cynic. He's a cynic about everything, including the law. Including the law. It's spelled L-A-W. Say it with me now. L-A-W, and backwards that spells wall. That's what the Palestinians infiltrated. A fucking wall and broke the law. Forwards and backwards.
I've tried a lot of
He's
drugs.
right.
It's called language. I speak multiple languages. How many languages do you speak, Dr. Cynic?
You guys should talk to a specialist.
Maybe I should just come to Mecca to learn the truth and buy a book from you while you suck my dick.
You need to regulate, auto-regulate your nervous system.
I don't know why.
No, I'm just projecting for Dr. Phoenix here because he's a gay Muslim that lives in Mecca and sells books. But he can't get it out. He can't come out of the closet because his head will get cut off by the caliphate and a big sword in the public square for sucking dicks and selling books. He can't have an OnlyFans account in Mecca because he violates the freedom of censorship.
Should spend some time outside of Clubhouse.
No, this is my comedy hour. I just came to make fun of you guys that are so stupid. It's called the Stupid Comedy Hour with people who actually listen to what I have to say because they know that I'm roasting you. It's a roast. Don't you know that it's your barbecue party? I'm roasting you.
Edmund, we cannot hear you when you talk over other
I know you can't hear me because you're not listening. All you do is talk all the time. When was the last time a Muslim taught you a meditation or a yoga class? Like never. All they want to do is talk politics and terrorism all the time. They don't even pray or meditate. These are fake Muslims. These are all fake Muslims. These are all political jihadists. They're fake Muslims. They don't study the Quran or even Sufism with Rumi. They don't read books anymore. They just talk all the time. They're professional talkers. They are like parrots in a fucking tree parrot.
Give me a quick synopsis on that book. Kabbalah. We're reading Kabbalah.
Yeah, read a book sometime on this app instead of talking all the time and wasting your time. It's a waste of time.
Freaking bugging me out with Kabbalah. Give me a metaphysics. Give me your metaphysics.
It is called energy, and it is spelled E-N-E-R-G-Y. Energy. Enter the universe. Energy. That's what energy means in English. Enter the universe. Enter the universe now through the energy of the words. Use the words to enter the energy of the universe. How many languages do you even speak? I speak like 7 languages. You don't even speak 3 languages. I speak 10 languages. How many languages do you even speak? I speak 10 languages, and you think I'm stupid. How many languages do you
to see how this will end.
languages.
You want to see how this
Speak
will end?
English, motherfucker.
You want to see how this will end?
Cynic is gonna crash out eventually because he doesn't read books. He just talks all the time.
That's the only
Cynic is gonna crash out because he never reads a book. He just runs his mouth all the time. I speak 10 languages. You don't even speak 3.
reconfigures himself.
He speaks Arabic and English.
And Spanish and German and Hebrew and Arabic and Russian. I speak a lot of languages, Cynic. I'm a pretty smart guy because I read these things called books, which are programs sitting on a shelf.
Guys, let's have peace, right? Let's have
Peace right now. You know, there's no such thing as the past, and there's no such thing as the future. There's only this thing called the now. And Dr. Cynic, he gets in his fucking time machine and goes back to 1655 and thinks he's Muhammad again. Now it's 2025. There's no such thing. It's called a time machine, Dr. Cynic.
You don't even know the shit that you claim you've been reading for over
There's
years.
no such thing as a time machine. Just these things called books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ribono Shaloila, master of the universe. Who is the master of the universe?
All right, I forgot.
Hello?
You back.
Anyways, it's...
You're going crazy.
Why? It's my comedy hour. What are you talking about? I'm here to roast them.
Because when you speak over other people, they don't hear you.
I know, but I don't want to... I don't really... Issa, the point is, I want to get back to doing what I gotta do, which is go sit in the sun and enjoy my afternoon. I don't want to sit here and talk to Cynic. I wanted to get kicked from the room 20 minutes ago. But these mods are sleeping because they've been on the app all night.
No, I'm here.
Oh, Usama's still here. He's enjoying the humor. See, some people like the comedy.
Yeah, this phone on this room is better because here we can talk over each other and I can still hear you, but the other one is horrible.
Yeah. You know.
Because when you're speaking over other
What do you
people,
mean,
we
why
cannot
do I
hear
do
words.
this? I'm teaching people English here. And I'm teaching people how to get in control of their emotions. Most people are just road raging on this app. I'm the mirror that they cast their hate and their anger into. This is how this app works. It's a projection app. And Cynic is one of the worst projectionists on the app. His projection's terrible. It's all pessimistic and cynical. He goes by the name Cynic. He's a negative person. Listen, the point is most people are dealing with anxiety and depression on this app, and I'm here to help liberate them from their bad ideas. They come here to project nothing but bad ideas all the time.
How are you going to liberate them?
By being a mirror and showing them how neurotic they can become. That's the whole point. It's like a Zen training school. It's a psyop. It's essentially, how angry can I make you to prove how neurotic and emotional you are? Why are you even entertaining the conversation if you're getting angry? You are the problem. That's the point. This is like a training simulator.
That's true.
At least you're here for something.
That's my purpose, is to try to make you angry. I'm a comedian troll. I mean, but I have a point, which is to try to liberate you from yourself. Most people are just infected with a mind virus called personality.
People have you liberated?
I don't know, probably like a couple million. It only takes one shot, you know? All you got to do is see the light reflecting from my bald head once. Okay, assalamu alaikum. See, that's, you know,
Let's bring Cynic here now.
Peace be upon you. Okay. Let's ping him out.
You probably take better care of it, bro. Okay, let me just tell you something. So,
I think him in, tell him to come.
Canadian in Alberta.
He had a French last name.
The father, I'm talking about the adopted father.
Yeah, he had a French last name, but I don't think he's Quebecois or, French.
Okay, thank you so much. Because from his name, I thought he's definitely French. convention or something.
This is a room called Live Canada Votes 2025.
Okay, thank you. So what do you think of? So which one does Trump?
Simon's in the room. Andre's in the room. Go in
It's
that
hard to
room.
say. I mean,
It's called the middle. The house is called the middle. No, it's the house is called the middle. It's Live Canada Votes 2025. The Canadians.
Canada, he referred to Mark Carney. Trump referred to Mark Carney as Prime Minister, and he said, "I love Canada. Mark's a great guy," and all this stuff. So, and then he was saying some negative things about Polyev as well. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I think Polyev was supposed to be called Trump Light because he was conservative. He is conservative, and he's very much of a the quote unquote Republican-ish. It's not like he hates liberals because I've watched his videos a few times. He just hates liberals. He's like, Trudeau, this damn liberal, he's destroyed Canada. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna save Canada because I'm conservative. So he's the Trump of Canada. Right?
No, and I mean there was an attempt to try to brand him with that, but no, I would not superimpose Canadian politics onto Canadian politics. It's very different.
Wait, Canadian politics isn't Canadian politics? What is it, Dr. Adam?
No, Canadian politics is Canadian politics.
So there's no easy parallel. Like the conservatives in Canada would be the Republicans, the liberals would be the Democrats. It's not. You don't view it that way, right? It's not a easy comparison.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So let's go through the chat a little bit more. Welcome, comedian. So Simon's saying, let's hope PPC. I guess he means the Conservative Party of Canada wins some seats. The Liberals are probably going to win. Yes, that's sort of the sentiment here, is that the Liberals are going to win a minority or majority government, but there might be this sort of silent conservative swell out there because turnout is huge. We might get north of 70% voter participation here, so it's kind of an all-time high for modern politics, which is great. Andre's got a question. Hold on. Ahmed says most of the people who would have voted PPC are voting conservative. Best way to not get your voice heard and let down your favorite party. Okay, Andre, in terms of projection, is that a good or bad thing for liberals, conservatives? I think that might be in regard to the, I don't know what that was in regard to, but right now, both the polling-wise, the conservatives and the liberals are both about 10 points up from where they were in the last federal elections.
To the divine.
Go ahead, Andre.
Sorry, I'll just clarify. We made such a Montreal usually
Sound like the races to this
liberal concentration.
In a world of
Both.
Okay, so the fact that it is a contest between liberals and conservatives, then usually it's swung liberal. Is it a good or bad sign for either of those parties?
I see. So in Montreal, the Conservatives are nowhere. So it's a fight between the NDP, the Bloc, and the Liberals. And I think we were talking about Metro Toronto, sort of suburban Toronto. If the Liberals are breaking through some of these swing ridings, then it's a very good sign that the Liberals are on course for a majority, or minority or majority, and more likely a majority Liberal government. So some of those Metro Toronto ridings are going to be really critical. Right? Most of the seats here are going to be, Metro Montreal, Metro Toronto, Metro Vancouver. And if Metro Toronto is going Liberal, Metro Vancouver is probably going Liberal heavily as well. So we'll be able to get a good sense of what's going on here.
Well, when you say,
thanks, Steve. Yeah, go ahead, comedian.
I mean, when you're how do you value or judge yourself in terms of your own projection with regards to Canadian politics?
How do I value myself in my projections? In terms of my accuracy?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I think I got a good sense of it. I've worked in federal politics.
I mean, doesn't that essentially say then you're good at prophecy?
Yeah, I'm a prophet. My crystal ball is strong.
I mean, that's what analysis is. I mean, unless it's hindsight bias. So the question is back to projection. I mean, how much are you projecting, and how much of that projection is accurate?
Well, we'll only know how accurate it is with the results, but I would say that I nailed the electoral college in the United States. I nailed it precisely. I also thought Trump would win the popular vote. And I was pretty close in the French election as well, when we did a room on that last year, and the UK election. So I've been pretty...
Do you think Canada has been overwhelmed by alien migrant invasion?
Sorry, who?
Do you think Canada has been overwhelmed by illegal migration or legal migration? Are you happy with all the Muslims and Asians in your country?
I think Canada is not equipped to currently take in 500,000 to 1 million people per year, which was what the Liberals had set up, and then did a 180 on late last year. We don't have enough houses. We have had the lowest housing starts in the OECD in the last 20 years. And there's a housing crisis, and houses are generally unaffordable in Canada. So on that front, no. Culturally speaking, yeah, I think so. I think Canada actually is probably best equipped to accommodate a wide diversity of different peoples from different places. The Europeans have attempted to adopt this Canadian multicultural model, which has been the official policy of Canada since the early 70s. But where I think we have maybe an advantage is that we're a young country and a young culture, save the First Nations. And so we don't have a lot of deep entrenched cultural norms and values that the Europeans do. I mean, they have a hard time with each other, let alone people outside of the continent. And the United States is a bit different too, because I think the U.S. is more of a melting pot model where there's set expectations of identity. And so people are the idea is for people to absorb into that identity when they come to the United States. Where in Canada, the multicultural model, it's that the Canadian identity is informed by outsiders, that we encourage people to bring their cultures to Canada, and that the Canadian culture kind of morphs and molds to those different cultures, and the identity evolves over time. Hey, Isa. Hello. How's Switzerland?
Better than Canada.
And always, come on. Except our casinos. I went to Davos, and I went to the casino expecting a Dr. No opening.
But when did you come to Davos?
I was, last time I was in Davos, it was 2016, but I'm going to try to get out there again this year. Zurich Fest, and spend some time in Bern and all that. Yeah, I will. Yeah, there's a few people in Switzerland I'd like to meet.
We can go to Zern together and do satanic rituals.
Yes, exactly. I'm looking forward to taking part in the next round of rituals in Davos. So I'll introduce you to George Soros, and we'll have a great time drinking children's blood. Yeah, it'll be wonderful. And I could get to see your shapeshifter side, that lizard side. That'll be great.
You will.
Beautiful.
So what time do you guys plan on having results?
Well, we actually have some results coming in. Newfoundland close to the top of the hour, Newfoundland and Labrador. So here we go. We got some results here. The riding in Newfoundland we're looking at, there's two ridings we're looking at. One is St. John's East, to see how badly the NDP are doing. It's a good bellwether there because they did hold that seat. They were competitive in 2015, lost by 2 points. Took it by 14 points in 2019 and then lost it by 12 points in 2021. But the NDP are collapsing, so St. John's East is a good indication of how weak the NDP vote is. And then the other one, which is a riding that's flipped Liberal to Conservative and back again, or flipped Conservative in 2021, and it was a 1% loss in 2019 is Central Newfoundland. And so, if we're seeing a strength there for the Conservatives. This may be an indication of the silent Conservatives. Well, is real in that the big voter turnout is a vote for change rather than a vote to vote liberal to stop Trump. Because there's two narratives running about why, what a big turnout means, and it's either one or the other, or maybe a mix of the two. But yeah.
The thing with Canadian Parliament, or however you call it, is that you don't necessarily need a clean majority, right? You need to have the most votes, the most seats, and that will make you a leader. Is that right? I mean, not the most. I mean, like the one that gets the higher numbers, what I mean, not necessarily a majority.
Yeah, so technically we got, I think it's 343 electoral districts. And so we actually this federal election is 343 separate elections. And so the party that gets the most seats
exactly, but not
has the
don't need a majority.
They don't need a majority of the seats. Yeah. If they get a minority of the seats, they have to have the support of other parties, right? And so you could have, say, the Liberals get a few more seats than the Conservatives, but not a majority. And then they would have to go shopping around to see if the other parties would support the Liberals and to form a government. But the Conservatives could also
form a government as well with the majority.
No. A minority or a majority, you have to try to form a government. Otherwise, we have another election. And so what's happening here is that if it's a minority government, it could end up being that the Bloc Québécois hold the balance. And then Mark Carney, so that the Liberals get the most seats, but it's a minority. They could try to make a deal with the Bloc Québécois, but if the Bloc, and which is the Bloc are going to be very, very picky, and they're a separatist party, so it's very difficult to get into any sort of coalition with them. And so the Liberals get the first kick at the can. But if the Conservatives also have enough seats where if they got the support of the Bloc, they form a government, what could happen is the Governor General could, because Mark Carney would then go to the Governor General and say, hey, I don't have the support of Parliament, we need a new election. The Governor General can say, well, it's obliged to look to the other parties and say, can you form a government? And so then the Conservatives, even though they got fewer seats than the Liberals, if they can make a deal with the Bloc, then they could form the government. Yeah. But in the most likely scenario in that case,
would they have to go for a vote of confidence?
Yes. In every case, yes, and always, regardless of whether it's a majority or minority, there'll be a throne speech, which is sort of the State of the Union, and that is a vote of confidence. The budget's another vote of confidence. So there's like all these different, and then if it's like really critical legislation, that can also be a vote of confidence as well. So, yeah.
So are you afraid that Carney gets? I mean, they still remain in power.
I think that's the odds right now. But if the Bloc are holding the balance, I think we probably have another election. So. Yeah, there was a question in here, has the Bloc ever been part of a coalition that formed government? Not formally part of a coalition, but they have supported, I think in the first term of Stephen Harper from 06 to 08, he had a minority government, and he was able to get the support, I believe, of the Bloc for a year or something like that at that point, yeah. So it has happened before. The Bloc have also been the official opposition before in the early 90s. They were the second party.
The political leaning of Bloc?
They are left-wing and kind of quasi-xenophobic. They're sort of xenophobic separatists. Yeah, it's confusing. All right, so let's see here. We got Central Newfoundland. We got, 19 of 233 polls reporting. Conservatives 60%. It's a little too early to tell. We got some early numbers coming out of St. John's East. This is Newfoundland, and it's looking like.
What time do they close the polls, or are they already closed?
They're closed in Newfoundland, and now they are. It's for bottom of the hour. They're closed in eastern in the Maritimes, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and New Brunswick. And so we're starting to get some numbers trickling in North and Nova Scotia and then Prince Edward Island, but Newfoundland, they're counting the votes right now. It's still early though, so I got 2 ridings in Newfoundland. We're looking at 4 ridings in Nova Scotia, 3 ridings.
Do you guys usually get same day results?
Yeah. Yeah. So how it works here? When I went in and voted this morning, you come in, you have your voter card, which is a piece of mail sent by Elections Canada.
Isn't that racist?
Yeah, just wait, it gets more racist according to the Democrats. The voter card tells you where to go to the voting station. You line up to go to it. Has the voter list there. And they ask for a piece of identification, government identification. And so you provide a driver's license to the person. They look at your name on the list. They cross off your name. She gives you a ballot. And you go behind a small cardboard box. And there is it's a simple piece of paper with the name of the candidates. And you mark an X next to the candidate you wish to vote for with a pencil that the Elections Canada provides, and then you fold the ballot and you stick it in the cardboard box, and that's it. That's how you vote in Canada.
It's like going out on a date and getting lucky.
No mail-in ballots?
You can do mail-in as well. Yeah, and there's also advanced polls.
You have to request it. It has to be special circumstances, right?
Yes. There is. There's also advanced voting. So 7 million people voted in advanced voting. Those were 4 days of voting opportunities in each riding as well. So a lot of people did that early. The biggest turnout was in Carleton, which is Pierre Poilievre's riding in suburban Ottawa, and that had over something like half of the likely voters had voted already in the advanced polls. So, yeah. And then at the end of the night, once the polls are closed, they open up the cardboard boxes at all the different voting stations, and they count the ballots, paper ballots. You can kind of see a picture up above. That's them counting the ballots there. So, and then you have party representatives that scrutineer. That just like look over the voters, the vote counters, and just make sure it's all Gucci. And that's how we do it. No computers, nothing.
It is the exact same thing in Guatemala. We do manual counting and recounting. There are like observers, and you mark them, and you put them in boxes, and seal them, and you pass the results. And it's the difference is that we do it with a crayon. The voting, and we have like big boxes, on the paper, and we have to put an X, and the X cannot get out of the box because otherwise it would be void.
Yeah, as long as you show some sort of clear indication of intent to vote and intention, they count it. So it has to be very, you have to really screw it up in order for them not to count the vote. And you could use your own pen. You don't have to use their pencil. You could actually use any. You could bring a crayon and use a crayon too. Anything works.
In Guatemala, they make us put our finger inside of a permanent ink or something.
Oh, you're like Afghanistan. Okay.
Yeah, and so it impregnates in your nail and everything.
Adam,
so
I hate to interrupt. What do you think about the Vancouver terror attack?
That's a low trust society there. He said the Vancouver terror attack. It was not a terror. Well, it was not considered quote unquote terrorism.
He was part of an Islamic jihadist group in the Philippines. He was part of an Islam. There's a photo of him. There's photos of him with an Islamic terrorist group in the Philippines.
Really? I didn't hear about this. Okay, that's news.
Yeah, it leaked. It's on X. I mean, it's confirmed.
Okay. He's Cantonese speaker. From southern China. I think he's the descendants of southern Chinese. He might even be probably Hong Kong, which means that he probably comes from like old Chinese migration, right? Not like mainland new Chinese migration. And I'll have to take a look at that because the initial reports from the Vancouver Police Department was that the guy had mental illness, and he was known to police, and that they didn't consider it a terrorist attack. But okay, well, I mean, if he's hanging out with Islamic extremists in Philippines, he could still be mentally ill. But then, yeah, that is a terrorism factor. So.
Did you also see a CIA executive? Her son died fighting with Russia against Ukraine.
Yeah, Marshall was talking about that. Yeah. Interesting.
People do crazy things. They rebel against their parents. They were saying that he was always anti-authoritarian, and I don't know. People, young people do stupid things, and if you're lucky, you go to college, and everything works out, but you don't do anything crazy. I mean, people are,
you brainwashed a different way there. Yeah. No, I mean, Jim Morrison, right? Comedian Jim Morrison his father was a admiral in the U.S. Navy, Gulf of Tonkin, right? That was Jim Morrison.
It's interesting because, children and parents, children don't like the authoritarian nature of the parent, and so they rebel and they become artists or et cetera. So it's literally the system. It is the economy in many ways.
All right. What's up,
Mickey? Yeah. Buenos dias. Good morning.
Good afternoon. And hey, Dreamer as well. But go ahead, Mickey. We'll go to Dreamer next. Welcome. Go ahead, Mickey.
Okay, nice to meet you, everyone. I am an interpreter in Spanish here in Japan. And yesterday, I called to the Iwakuni base at the United States. And I understood the people, young generation, are so honesty, but sometimes the security is very poor because of that. So I think the moral or the protection of the country is depending on the person. This is my opinion.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're...
No tú sabes. Yo hablo español. Yo prefiero tú hablas en español con...
Canadian, hold on. You can just, let's try to keep it focused to Canada here. It's a Canadian room.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So
sorry
Canada
about that.
Is a country, okay?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and sometimes the people, please, wait a minute. Canada is a country, the real country, actually country, okay? But here in Clubhouse, sometimes the people can say lies and they don't know about the nationality, okay?
Okay,
it's
what's your
very
point?
important, okay?
Quickly. Yeah, quickly, Muking, just quickly, go to the point first, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to listen to
You could understand, okay? Adam, Mr. Adam.
All right. Anyways, Dreamer, welcome to the stage.
Oh, thank you, Adam. And today is the decision date, and I am an immigrant, but I love Canada, and I am kind of patriotic, and especially after Trump talking about becoming 51st state. So I want to actually keep Canada great. So I don't want to be part of United States because we want to keep Canada great, and I want to buy Canadian goods and services, not Americans. And so I don't vote conservatives because Pierre Poilievre is kind of like a Trump puppet, is kind of mini Trump, and he doesn't want to keep Canada great. Actually, he wants to keep America great, make America great. So He didn't talk about buying Canadian, avoiding American goods and services, and that's what Trump actually telling Americans to buy domestic products, but he doesn't talk about that, interestingly. So it's kind of like copying Trump, but acting like a puppet, not real, actually patriotic. That's what
and thanks, Streeter, for that. I think a few things. First, you're obviously Canadian because when you said I'm feeling kind of patriotic. That's like one of the most Canadian things someone can say. And I think your sentiment around Polyev and the concern about Trump is a dominant issue that has overwhelmed this election, and I think the sentiment may be the critical mass of the electorate, and that's what the Liberals are hoping for. And if what your perspective comes to be, what voters are thinking, we will see a Liberal minority or majority, and I think that you can thank Trump for that. I will just note Polyev did say today in response to Trump's trolling of Canada on Truth Social, Polyev said, quote, "President Trump, stay out of our election. The only people who decide the future of Canada are Canadians at the ballot box." End quote. And goes on, and that Canada will never become the 51st state, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but yeah, no, I think that sense that Polyev was appeasing Trump. He certainly was flat-footed in response to Trump's threats of tariffs and sovereignty, and I think it really did hurt him, and it kind of created a window for the Liberals to really take advantage of that. And I think a lot of people think like you do, Dreamer, so you're in good company there. Thank you for those thoughts, and look forward to more comments as we move on. There's the chats. Wow, 164 comments. Holy moly. Let's see. Let's read validation of me. Good. Exactly, Adam. 100%. Thank you, Zach. I'm just kidding. Get whoever you want to vote for the Liberals. I don't care about Canada. Okay. Oh, maybe there's some trash talk going on there. Welcome. Hey, Gio's in the crowd.
Is Canada a failed state?
Ordinary. Sorry, just a second. Ordinary. That's an interesting comment you made about you either vote Liberal or NDP. It sounds like you haven't voted yet. I'd be curious to know where. You don't have to be very specific, but which city you're in, and have you? Yeah, I'd be interested to see like what kind of decision making you have there, because that's actually a really important factor for whether the Liberals form government here. Is how many NDPers vote Liberal this time. So go ahead, comedian.
Yeah, I was just asking, is Canada a failed state?
You're asking. You're asking. Nice. Oh, man, comedian, you're funny. You're funny, man. Sorry, is Canada the 51st state? It is not the 51st state.
No, I was asking if it's a failed state. And thanks for confirming that I'm funny, because a lot of my YouTube audience says I'm not funny and I'm a bald loser.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you're funny and I'm bald, but not a loser. Is it a failed state? Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's there yet, but we're on a trajectory that's very, to use a Grinch word, problematic. The leader of the Bloc Québécois called Canada an artificial country this weekend, which caused a big brouhaha. So yeah, we're on the brink, though. There's some big problems that are structural in nature for Canada, and there's a lot of pressure. There's this sort of underlying balkanization issue. I think Gio made mention of this. You have Quebec, who's always looking to separate, or a lot of people in Quebec looking to separate from Canada, and then you also have a lot of Western alienation, especially in Saskatchewan and Alberta. And and these people vote heavily conservative, if we end up with a Liberal majority, there is going to be, I think, a burgeoning Western separatist movement. I don't think it's like critical mass or anything like this. But I think there's going to be a lot more concerns and
just what's wrong with Canadians? I mean, why is the government so crazy and so neurotic and wasting all their time and energy and resources on liberal politics? I mean, where did they go wrong?
Well, the people are like this to an extent.
I mean, imagine if Elon Musk came to Canada and he's like, "Hey, I want to invest $10 billion here and build some new infrastructure." Canada would be like, "Get out of Canada! Get out of here!" Like they're crazy. They got derangement syndromes.
Well, yes, and but also Musk was in Canada. I think he spent a little bit of high school and went to college in Canada, just like the failed Democratic candidate Harris. She went to college in Canada and high school in Canada as well, so they share that in common. But yeah, Musk has a Canadian passport. He is a Canadian citizen. He came to Canada before he went to the United States.
Okay, so listen to these statistics. George W. Bush issued 200 pardons. Barack Obama issued 2,000 pardons. Donald Trump issued 237 pardons. And Joe Biden issued 8,064 pardons.
Okay, right on. Ordinary, you're in Edmonton. Okay, interesting. You're in Edmonton. Edmonton that's a tough choice, man. Because the NDP, depending on where in Edmonton you are, the NDP hold, I think they hold 2 seats currently in Edmonton. And there's one of those seats is more, that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one. Coin flip. Even though the Liberals have Edmonton Center as well. So I would lean to, it depends where you are. If you're in Edmonton Center, if you're just not voting Conservative, I would vote Liberal. In the, around the University of Alberta, I would probably, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you there. It's kind of hard to say because the question is how much of a collapse is the NDP experiencing. Right? So good luck to you there. It's a tough choice. I think and it's interesting this sort of last minute NDP voters choosing Liberal or vice versa. If there's enough confusion, that could help the Conservatives because it splits the non-conservative votes. But generally, I think people are moving towards the Liberals, right? They're abandoning the NDP and they're going to the Liberals because they think the Liberals are the best bet. So I would probably advise you to vote Liberal if you want to stop the Conservatives, right? So yeah, we'll get some more numbers. The numbers are starting to come in more here. I'm just having a quick cigarette. People are welcome to join the stage. We got some it's going to be a really exciting election here. We got some early votes coming out of the east, out of Newfoundland and the Maritimes. And there's some ridings we're looking at in particular in each province that are good bellwethers as to where things are going. We're just waiting for more votes to get a better sense as to where things are at because like in the United States, Canada has a pretty major rural-urban divide, and so the rural parts of the riding will be voting Conservative, and the urban parts will be voting NDP and Liberal, mostly Liberal. And this is, sometimes the polls will be coming in the rural parts, and so it looks like the Conservatives are way ahead, but once the urban votes come in, then suddenly everything changes. So we're going to wait just a little bit longer before we start reporting on where things are going in this election. Hey, Marshall, welcome back.